You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact, and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell-Rappin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. All right, welcome back, everybody. Today, I want to talk about driving your speed to success up a gear, and not by doing all the heavy lifting. I think sometimes the thing that boggles my mind the most as an observer of the world of business is people need help. They don't know how to hire that help, and they then find themselves completely overwhelmed instead of delegating for success. And I'm super excited today to introduce you to someone as amazing as Renee Hastings. She is an incredible business owner, an incredible leader of people, and she is the bridge that's going to help you get there faster, but not get there solo. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine. It's so great to be here today.
Okay, guys, if you were not at the Heroes of High Ticket Business Growth Virtual Summit, you missed out, because that's how Renee and I connected. This is the power of community. She and I got connected through peers, and I said, I love what you're about. We need to change the world, and we need to help more people. Come play with me. And she's like, yes, I want to do that. And then I loved so much what she brought to the table. I said, you need to come onto the podcast. So let's talk about, why is there such a massive gap between those that are seeking a virtual assistant and those that are a virtual assistant trying to find their next client? Like, why does this even be like two people crossing the ships but never connecting? What's going on? Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
All right. Well, I am firstly so honored to be a part of your show today, and so excited to be a part of your tribe of amazing humans. I'm so grateful to our friends, our mutual friends who connected us, because my life hasn't been the same since we've met. And so I just want to thank you for this opportunity. And one of the things that come to mind when I think about what keeps people from being able to delegate is the fact that a lot of people, number one, have trust issues. They have perfectionism issues. They have maybe a lack of training in how to teach somebody how to do what it is that they want to have done. Or they might be afraid that they'll make mistakes, and so they just don't want to deal. Or they don't want to invest the time that it will take to train somebody to get to know them so that they can perform the work well. Or they just feel like they're going to lose control. If they don't have all of their fingers in all of the things, then they may feel like they're losing control. So to me, it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear-based maneuvering. And if you're striving to have a high ticket offering and to scale your business, and you've got all of this fear going on, that's going to hinder you from being able to make the most progress, to scale and be your ultimate best self. Because it's when you let go, first of all, when you deal with this fear, where it originally originates and where it stems from, that's when you can start to flourish. That's when you can really start to make magic, because you're not doing it all yourself. You're actually passing that person in the night who is that virtual assistant who has that service to offer for you that you can delegate to. And as long as you allow yourself that permission to let go and let someone else in, then things are going to be changed for the better.
All right, guys, this is the rallying cry. Really loudly said, we don't do fear. Not on my watch. We don't do fear. Everything we want is on the other side of it. Right. And truthfully, here's the kicker. The day you decided to go into business was the day you decided to be in the people business. Okay. A lot of people think, can I just not people and be in the world of business? It is really hard. I don't know how you do it. I haven't seen it successfully happening yet. So let me tell you, you are in the world of business. And that means you have to manage yourself and your own fears. Letting go is the bridge to a new way, a fresh way, a better way, a different way, and you growing. So we're going to throw you right into the deep end and say, from this moment on, Renee and I are saying no more fear. Okay? No more fear. It's not happening anymore. And I want to talk about the wins, because the truth is we are not great at everything. I mean, you and I have great business skills, but we didn't start with great business skills. We started with a whole bunch of ugly, messy, bad attempts. And the truth is, there's a lot to be said for do what you're good at and not doing it all. So let's talk about the first major win to success when it comes to delegating, and that is speeding things up on the efficiency side.
That's right. That's right. So when there's power in delegation, so when you think about the speed and efficiency of delegation, or to provide a better business opportunity for yourself and getting there quicker, you do that when you build a team. And when you build a team, it improves your time management because you're able to delegate those things to people who are experts in doing that thing. As a business owner, you can't be the expert in all the things. And so to quickly and swiftly get to where you want to go, find the experts and let them do what they do.
So simple, guys. Like, seriously, I have this moment, and my husband always laughs because he always says it's like a bit of a twinkle in my eye when I was like, I can't wait till this is the last time I do this. And I have those moments and I come and I celebrate them. And I said, I don't know who yet I'm going to hire, but I know that I'm not great at this. I know it's painful. And I also know that while I've learned enough to hire well, there's no interest in being the expert in this. And so I want to throw a bit of a new question to you, but it's what's the first thing you think people should let go of because they're not great at? Is there something that you see pattern wise? It's like I my first start into the foray of hiring a virtual assistant is usually where does it happen most?
Usually it's in the area of email management and calendar management, because busy people meet with busy people, and trying to get a hold of a busy person where both of y'all schedules match, it can take hours. It can sometimes take days, depending on who it is you're trying to meet with. Give up the email management and the calendar management, and that will be the first major block where you will feel some incredible relief. And what the people that I've spoken with usually have inboxes that have about 15,000 emails in it. And when
hives.
And I see these inboxes and I'm just like, why? You can't be friends with all these people, right? So more than half of these things are junk that you have to filter through to find the one thing that matters to you. You don't have to be the person to do that. There are systems available. There are people available who are experts at being incredibly efficient at this and who love doing it. Like they wake up to check somebody's email.
And I love that because this is the truth. There is always a match. And we talk about, in our role, it's like we have to find the buyer because the buyer is seeking a solution and we have to be the must hire choice. That's a match. The truth is where you are not strong, somebody else geeks out on, and you got to go find that person and celebrate your weirdness and say, I appreciate that you see the world differently because together we're better. And it allows you to focus on things that are higher priority. Because truthfully, here's also the kicker, my friends, while we're not doing fear anymore, we're also not task driven. Okay. The big way to make a business roll successfully is to recognize what are the big rocks, what are the big priorities, where does the critical thinking come from? Because if you're going to get paid well, it is not on the low level tasks, it is on the critical thinking and the opinion that you bring forward. And that means you've got to save your time and create time by bringing in more flexibility. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that your business does, because sometimes we're like, I don't even know if somebody has a skill expertise in this, like, because it's so foreign to me. Like, what are some of the skills expertise that you find right now in the marketplace really hot, where you can say, there's people ahead of the learning curve, go find them. They're going to help you accelerate quicker.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we have looked for to build our team, because we know we have to stay cutting edge. So as a virtual assistant service agency, we were founded on administrative support, providing the email management, the calendar management, the project management, doing all the presentations and expense reports and travel arrangements, those kinds of things.
Oh, my husband will be all over that. Please do my expenses for me. He keeps asking me. I'm like, no, babe, I'm not doing your expenses for you. I've got my own.
Send me the receipts.
God, yeah, we totally have to make that happen because he drives me crazy. Sorry, guys, sidebar. Go
And
swim in your paperwork, go find your accountant. They will love you if you hire a VA to do this.
so that's how we started, but we know we have to stay cutting edge. And so with the advent of AI and how popular it has become, as we're building our team, that's one of the things that we look for, is that the person that's joining our team is very proficient in how to use all of the artificial intelligence that's out there. There's so many. We commonly think of ChatGPT as as the most popular thing, but there's so many others that many haven't heard about that are just as good, just as useful, and that our team is very familiar with. So when you have a team member who's an extension of your own team, who's familiar with these things, you are 10x in your business already just by bringing us on. So it's so important.
So, and here's the way I always think of it, and this is the truth. Like when you're deciding to be delegating, it's about what could I create dollar-wise, new offer, new client, another conversation, another of those two. Remember, guys, 90 days, the two things that predict your revenues, how many people you're meeting that could be your next buyer and how many offers you're making. You think, well, what can I do to create value? And then saying, well, what could I pay that's less than that? And I still end up with a plus. You want to plus yourself all the time because it's how you create time. If you want to be moving and amplifying and getting into the right rooms, you need that plus. And so I will tell you, the first thing I outsourced was actually housekeeping, because I'm like, if I could have somebody clean my house for 3 hours, what could I create income-wise in 3 hours that was worth more than the cost of paying my cleaner? And I was like, one offer pays for the plus. And I happily write them a check, and she's awesome, and she's a lovely human being. I'm also helping her with her business, so she's going to win all over the place. But guys, this is about finding and focusing on the things where you add value. It is about cost savings, flexibility, and recognizing you're not going to be great at everything. Somebody else will be great, and especially on evolving technology. If you're not the first adopter, that's okay. Remember, you're spending time being the first adopter slows down your cash, slows down your impact. But this is a team that says we get paid by being the first adopter. We get paid to help you do it quickly. It's such smart money.
That's right.
Go over the fear and go say yes.
That's right. And then as people are thinking about whether or not they should, think about whether the cost of bringing on a full-time employee. So if you have to take into consideration a salary, benefits, paid time off, all the brick and mortar square footage for overhead, that is incredibly expensive. The cost of a full-time employee or even a part-time employee is incredibly expensive. When you think about bringing on a virtual assistant, number one, you don't have to pay for hours that aren't being worked. So you may say, oh, I need you for 8 hours a day, but you don't have 8 hours a day to give to somebody. You only have maybe 3 or 4, maybe. Why pay for those extra hours that aren't being used? That's not fiscally responsible.
That's right.
I don't know if I say that.
We've got champagne taste. We need some bubbles. We need some things we need money for. But the truth is also, like, one of the things that I advocate, and that's one of the things I'm such a fan of your business and the work that you do, because you're a collective team. You have different skills within your team. The truth is, guys, you want a team. I'm going to advocate for working with an agency when you're hiring your first VA, because you want somebody who can help bridge. How do I figure out what goes first? What skills do I need? What's an available list? And also the day-to-day communication, because the reason we hold back, you're right, is fear. It's like, I don't know if I want to have people, and yet I need the outcomes. Working with Renee and her team allows you to have a bridge between that and a person who's dedicated to the communication, because it is not fair. This is my big gripe soapbox moment, guys. It's not fair to expect your VA to be a unicorn and to pay them inexpensively. Do better. Please, come on. Like, we got to do better. But it is okay to say, I have multiple needs, and she can, Renee and her team can say, great, I have multiple people that can help you. Total hours looks like this. You're like, great, I can commit to that, and I can set them up for success, and I have somebody to focus on the communication, because your VA is an extension of your business, and they take direction based on your direction. Please don't look at each other and go, isn't it you? who kind of
Right.
leads us into this path of delegating successfully. It's like, that's a fast.
Right. Right, exactly. And when you bring on that person as an extension of your team and you allow them to partner with you and not just be a doer of tasks, but actually a partner in the execution of your strategic plan, that's a partnership that we don't take lightly. That is when we're making a match of a virtual assistant to a client, we know that this is something that they are thinking long term about and we are thinking long term about. So it is crucial for us to make the right match. And so when I bring on a virtual assistant on our team, that person actually works with me first. So I can see for my own self quality that they bring and make sure that they are meeting our standard of excellence before I assign them to any client. So I can vouch for myself 100% of the value of the virtual assistants you're going to get from our team. So we can be an extension. So we can be on the road with you for the long haul. And it's not just a here now, gone tomorrow kind of thing, but it's a relationship that gets built. And as you're networking, as Christine was talking about, going out and doing all your networking to build your business, a lot of times in those events, like when we were in the strategic alliance, we met so many people and I had to have somebody to help me follow up on all of those leads that we got in that summit because it was absolutely amazing. It was an incredibly fantastic summit. From what I understand, it happens regularly.
It does, yeah.
So I'm going to plug the Strategic Alliance Summit.
Guys, stick around. The next date will be November, and I will make sure you get the details of it because I will be there. I've already got Virginia and I hatching plans around that event. But it's true, this is allowing you to build trust. And we said if the fear is the thing we need to do is to build trust because you're in the people business. You've got to find a way to get people on board. You've got to find a way to work well together because truthfully, you can't do it all. Let's talk about that for a second here because overwhelm, burnout, mental health, and the stress of owning a business ratchets up when suddenly you have somebody else saying, please tell me what you'd like me to do. So how do you kind of coach, guide people to say, let's find our way to the ultimate goal, which is breathing, sleeping, loving the journey, because honestly, we want more people to be in that space. What's your best tips around smooth sailing?
Well, one of the things I think is so important first is to recognize that you have a problem. I think that's the first problem. The first issue to be resolved is to understand that you are just one person. You can't do it all. The lack of sleep, the lack of balance in work and life is taking its toll on your mental health, your physical health, and say the words, I need help. Once you admit you have a problem, then we can do something about it. And that includes bringing on someone who can take those things off of your plate. I was there myself when I was first starting this business. And I still had a full-time day job. That was years ago. But I remember what it was like not getting enough sleep. It was, and your brain just is on half capacity. There's no capacity to be creative or strategic. And so when I brought on someone, my first virtual assistant, and I felt the relief, I felt the exhaustion just kind of go away because as I would get requests in from my clients, I had someone I could forward them to. And this is my sign for forwarding an email.
It's got a good swish. I just got nothing on you.
And the message would always say the same thing. Please assist. Thanks. And when I was able to do that, it just lightened my load so much. And I was able to get more sleep, function on a higher level, and just let go of all of the things. It was much easier for me to let go, especially starting with email. And as things continue to grow and progress in our relationship, I was able to let go of more and more things and easier and quicker so that I could perform all of my duties at 100% capacity instead of 25% because I was trying to do it all myself.
I love it, guys. So we're not only telling you to drop the fear, not on our watch anymore, we're also inviting you to exhale. This is going to help you lead it. So I want to ask you, because you are a business owner, just like every other person here listening in our community, I want to know what's working for you right now to grow your business, because you're adding team members, you're adding new clients all the time. What's working right now to amplify your impact to reach more people on this key message, which is you can't go solo. And it can actually be a lot of fun when you have the right strategic partner, and an agency is definitely the way to go.
That's right. So what's working for me right now is actually networking. So when we talk about, and Christine, when you talk about the relationships, that when you are building a business and you're trying to scale, you can't do it yourself. You've got to know people who know people who know people who know people. And you do that by networking. Well, as you're networking, what I've discovered is as you're collecting business cards, or as you're collecting QR codes, or you're connecting on LinkedIn, there's so much follow-up needed. And so one of the things that's been working for me is assigning all of that follow-up to one of my virtual assistants and say, here, I need you to put these in our CRM. I need you to start the workflow to, continue engaging with them, in our whole system that we have. And so that's what's been working for me. And it has made a tremendous difference, because now when I go into a networking event, it's always with the opportunity, thinking about how can I serve? Who can I connect you with? How can I be a great referral partner so that your life is made better? And so I'm there to gather information. Well, I can't just sit on that information. I have to be able to remember them. And so that's where our assistants come in to help me manage all of that information and that flow.
I will tell you guys, the definite money, impact, and your favorite next client will be found in the follow-up. It doesn't happen usually. I said, we talk a little bit, if you've been in my space a while, we talk about the unicorn client. Unicorn clients do come along. And the more effective you are at building your client growth engine, the more unicorns you will have. It's awesome. Come build a unicorn farm. I would love you to. But truthfully, you've got to have a plan. And I love that Renee is saying, even in a team where we've got a lot of people, I commit to focusing on the follow-up, because I know the gold is mined in the relationship. And it's also where I get to find great new opportunities, cool people to go play with. Renee, how do people find you, the work that you're doing with Executive Help Now, and learn more about you and your business and your team that might be their ace in helping them scale successfully?
Well, we can always be reached on the website. That is www.executivehelpnow.org. Or if they're not sure if they need a VA or just kind of wondering, they can text the letters VA now, so that's VANOW, to 1-866-943-3491.
It's like, oh, she's gambling with a phone number.
No, it'll be in the show notes.
943-3591.
Yes, 866-943-3591. Text VA now, and that's the way to reach us. And of course, we're on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook at Executive Help Now.
I love it, guys. You want to follow up with this, because we've been talking about delegating success. There is a lot of power that can be harnessed in building your team. You do not have to go to the point of a full hire. This is a great way to start adding capacity. And guys, this is my number one tip for everybody who's looking to amplify their marketing impact, is you've got to solve capacity. This is a great way to do it. Please connect to Renee. Renee, thank you for being in my network. Thanks for being an awesome human being. Guys, we will see you on our next episode. Go connect to her and start thinking about how you do this. Not a conversation anymore around when you do this, because fear, we said, not on our watch. Go do it, my friends. We'll see you on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrappin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.